Nigel, welcome to the programme. Obvious first question.
Thank you.
Should President Trump have condemned Vladimir Putin instead of calling to congratulate him on his election win?
Well, let's just be clear. President Trump did congratulate Putin, as did, before him, Jean-Claude Juncker, the head of the European Commission here in Brussels, and Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany. So if you want to condemn Trump, you better condemn Germany and the European Union as well.
Now, the Russians are not in good standing in Britain at this point. From what I can tell, the Brits are in uproar about a nerve agent, a deadly nerve agent, being used on British soil. Am I accurately stating how the Brits feel?
Well, look, you know, there were two people, and OK, he was a former Russian spy who defected to us, and his daughter were poisoned. But the fact is, it did actually threaten the lives of many other people. It happened in a public place in a small town in the west of England called Salisbury. Now, the government have told us, both the Prime Minister and the Foreign Secretary, that this was definitely ordered by the Kremlin. There are some who say, well, it could have been Russian mafia, it could have been a hit by a former colleague. We currently have the international chemical weapons inspectors in Salisbury, who within the next week or so will give us an independent report. But either way, people are not happy.
Now, the Brits have expelled 23 Russian diplomats, and I believe the Russians did the same to the Brits. But I believe Prime Minister May, she wants other European countries to do the same, expel Russian diplomats. She's not getting much cooperation, though, is she?
No, she won't. And in fact, the elections in Italy a couple of weeks ago, the two big winners were parties that are sympathetic to having a continued liaison with Russia. The Greek government similarly take that view, as indeed it appears does Germany with Merkel. So I don't think she's going to get much solidarity on that front. There might be some words here tonight supporting her. I don't see the actions. The real question, though, is why 23? What a strange number.
Yeah, OK, but I don't know why it was 23. But I want you to tell me what is the standing of President Trump with the Brits today?
Well, the standing of President Trump, you know, as I say, the fact that he congratulated Putin, you know, Merkel did it, Juncker did it. I don't think it makes much difference. The one thing I would say, over the last few months, the Brits' attitude towards Trump has softened because they can see that America is doing well economically and that this president keeps his promises. And, you know, our problem is successive British governments get elected making promises and don't keep them. And Trump is a real contrast to that.
Prime Minister May really needs a bilateral two-way street on a trade deal with America. You think she'll get it?
Yeah. Look, I think it's very much in the interests of the UK and the USA to have a trade deal. There are many areas. I mean, I worked in financial services for 2 decades before getting involved in politics, and some of the regulatory differences and barriers stop us doing business. So, look, there's every positive reason for us to talk about a trade deal, and I know the Trump administration wants to do that. You know, the UK is not China. We're not going to undercut you. We can all do more business, create more jobs and more wealth together.
Last real small subject here. The World Cup starts in Russia in June. England is playing in that tournament. Am I right in saying that there is now concern for British fans who go over to Russia in this environment?
Yes, there is. It has to be said that, well, we call it football. I know you call it soccer, but football hooliganism is rife in Russia. So there are genuine concerns for the safety of British fans. But I'll say this to you. The Foreign Secretary, Boris Johnson, yesterday compared the World Cup football tournament in Russia to Hitler's Olympics in 1936. Wow. So there are now even some questions about whether the team should go or not.
That's a big deal. Nigel Farage, welcome back to the show. Good to see you again, sir, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you, Nigel.
We will make America great again.